नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू. गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून and good evening. Wherever you are, I welcome all of you for this enlightening session about the contents of Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So let's start by calming down our minds. Sit with a relaxed spine. Fixing your awareness at your Agya Chakra. Feel your whole body relax, mind calm. Take a deep and long inhalation through your nostril. Exhale out completely, removing the restlessness. Do it 2 more times. Now we will chant one Omkar and then three Shanti to attune your minds to that calmness and peace so that we can understand that knowledge of Hatha Yoga. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Absorb the vibrations. Gently join your both hands. Slowly open your eyes and come back. Welcome back again to all of you. So, we are going to explore the beautiful science of Hatha Yoga. What are the contents? What are the route or the map through which Swami swatmarama take us all from the journey of Hatha Yoga. And the image or the picture that you are seeing in front of me on the screen is a cover page, it's the front page of Hatha Yoga. It has a deep meaning behind it. And that's the homework that I give to all of you, that you work out, then we will sometime talk about it. But it is something related to balancing the heart that is sun and heart that is moon within us, so that the energy, the vital energy, can flow into a Sushumna channel where the subtle psychic centers are located, and which can give us enlightening experience of different consciousness that is going from Mooladhara up to Sahasrara. I hope that's what Swami swatmarama wants to convey through this image. Rest you try yourself moving further. So, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that is light on yoga. Ha means sun, Tha means moon, Yoga means union, uniting the sun and moon. And this one word, Pradipika, it's like the light which sheds how to unite your sun and moon so as to get the union. That is the light on Hatha Yoga. With kind regards, Om and Prem to Swami Niranjananandji. Let's moving further. It's commented by Swami Mukti Bodhananda ji and under the guidance of Swami Satyanand Saraswati ji. And it's a like publication of Munger, that is Bihar School of Yoga. This is Swami Satyanand Saraswati ji, Enlightened Master. So let me just give you a map of this book so that you know the complete idea about what the book is all about. Hatha Yoga Pradipika contains the 4 steps or the 4 chapters, which contains the whole terminology, whole route or the map of this Hatha Yoga. That is, chapter 1 is about asanas. Everything that you come across while you practice an asana is dealt in the chapter 1, that is asana. Then moving further, we will talk about in detail in few minutes. Then we have chapter 2 about Shat Karma and Pranayama. Shat Karma and Pranayama. What is Shat Karma and Pranayama? Shat Karma means, the Shat means 6, Karma means actions. 6 purificatory practices to purify our physical and gross body as well as subtle body. And Pranayama is to balance our energy in the subtle nadis so as to channelize or make that energy rhythmic or controlled. Then we have all things in this chapter related with your Shat Karmas and Pranayamas. Then moving further, chapter number 3 is regarding your mudras and bandhas. In chapter 1 you did asana, chapter 2 you did Shat Karma and Pranayama, and then there come the mudras and the bandhas. That is, mudras are the attitude or the gestures for channelizing the energy, and bandhas are to lock that energy within. And then finally moving further to the 4 chapters, which generally talks about the highest experience for a yogi, that is the samadhi. In this chapter, Swami swatmarama is talking about the samadhi, the different states of samadhi, and what it is like to be in the samadhi stage. So with this contains the whole track of this Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Now we will try to see what is covered in these 4 chapters. So that's why, let me tell you, this Hatha Yoga Pradipika is also, the yoga that it mentioned is also known as Chaturanga Yoga. What it is known as? The Chaturanga Yoga, the yoga of 4 limbs. What are the 4 limbs? Asana, Shat Karma and Pranayama, Mudra and Bandha, and finally the Samadhi. As you know, my friend, Hatha Yoga is a yoga of willpower, which begins first establishing the control over your physical body, then mental body, and then finally to your spiritual body. Whereas if you go into the text like Patanjali Yoga, that is Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there the Maharishi is mentioning the Raja Yoga, that is the yoga of controlling your mind directly. So this is the basic one. Whereas if you look the relationship between Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga, it says Raj Yoga, you have to reach with the practice and the application of Hatha Yoga. So in this chapter 1, there are like salutation to the Shiva. Whatever we do, first we connect with that higher energy vibrations. Then we talked about the purpose of Hatha Yoga. What is the purpose? Why we are doing it? State of Raja Yoga is unknown because of misconception. Here, Swami swatmarama is saying actual Raja Yoga is unknown because we are in belief. We are under misconceptions. Then talked about first of the Hatha Yogis, that is Matsyendranath and Gorakhnath. Adi Nath, that is Adi Yogi, Shiva, is known as the Lord of Yogis or mainly the Hatha Yogis. Then lineage of Mahasiddhas is given. Then talked about the three types of pain or tapa, that is Adidevik, Adibodhik and Adhyatmik. Then sadhana should be kept secret for the success. Swatmaramji says sadhana should be kept secret because if you share your sadhana with others, it may possible that you will lose your so much of energy which you are conserving while doing the sadhana. Place of practice is very important where you are practicing. Practice of sadhana devoid of mental tension according to Guru's instruction. In sadhana, there is a very importance of a guru. Guru is someone who has achieved a state of samadhi, who has experienced not the knowledge but the experience. Then Swatmaramji talks about the causes of failure in sadhana, that is what can lead you to the failure. Then finally he talks about the success in sadhana. Failure is Atya ahara prayasya prajalpa niyam graha. Atya ahara prayasya prajalpa niyam graha. Janasanga lolyam shadbhiryog vinishyati. Atyahara, excess food if you take. Prayasya, exertion. Atyahara prayasya prajalpo, that is over talkativeness. Niyam graha, too much following of the rules which disturbs your mind. Janasanga, following the company of people which is not at all good for you. And finally lolyam, that is your mind is continuously here and there, not able to focus at one point. That is, this will lead to dissipation of the energy that you are storing with the sadhana. What are the causes of the success in sadhana? That is mainly utsaha, sahas, dhairya, dradnishya. Utsaha, sahas, dhairya, dradnishya, tattva gyan and janasanga parityaga. Finally, you should be very utsaha, that is very eager to practice. Sahas, you should have that braveness, fearlessness. Utsaha, dhairya means the patience. But suppose you are not getting the success initially, you should have the patience. Utsaha, sahas, dhairya, dradnishya. You should have the sheer willpower. That if you want something in your life, you will do it. You will work about it. Utsaha, sahas, dhairya, dradnishya, tattva gyan, that is the knowledge of the essence. And finally, having the company of people which is going to make you go up, that is satsanga. Then he talks about the yamas and niyamas. Asanas, as per Hatha Yoga Pradipika, is known as the first stage of Hatha Yoga. In Hatha Yoga, Swatmaramji is saying, first and foremost thing to do is asana. And these asanas described by Maharishi Vasishtha and Matsyendranathji. What are the asanas that mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika? Mentioned 15 asanas. First is Swastik asana, that is auspicious pose. Gomukh asana, cow face pose. Veerasana, hero pose. Kurmasana, tortoise pose. Kukutasana, cockerel pose. Uttan Kurmasana, stretching tortoise pose. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Matsyendrasana, spinal twist pose. Benefits of Matsyendrasana. Paschimottanasana, that is back stretching pose. Benefits of Paschimottanasana. Then talks about Mayurasana, curative effects of Mayurasana. It's also known as the peacock pose, wonderful pose. And finally the Shavasana, corpse pose and its benefits. And after that they talked about 4 major asanas of the 84 taught by Shiva to excellence is the Siddha asana one and only, which give you so much of the Siddhis. It is mentioned if you practice Siddhasana for the 12 years, you will definitely going to achieve the fruit of the sadhana. Siddhasana is also known as the adapt pose. Then there are variations of Siddhasana. Then other asanas which are also mentioned important is Siddhasana, Vajrasana, Muktasana and Guptasana. Siddhasana is the most important asana. If you want to practice only one asana, Siddhasana is the key. Siddhasana, why it's important? Because it purifies your nadis. All the 72,000 nadis get purified when you practice Siddhasana. Perfection of sadhana takes 12 years. Swatmaramji is saying that when you practice sadhana for 12 years, because my friend, your body changes after every 12 years. The solar cycle of 12 years, after which things change. Perfection is attainable by Siddha Asana alone. If you practice Siddhasana with diet and ahimsa, this is a wonderful thing. Why? Because through Siddhasana, bandhas occur simultaneously. No asana can rival Siddhasana. There is no asana which is as equal important to Siddhasana because it's the best asana for meditation. Then we have Padmasana, lotus pose. Then method of awakening the Shakti with Padmasana, method of liberation with the Padmasana, explanation of Maruta. Then finally we have Simhasana, that is loin pose, Bhadrasana, that is gracious pose. Then sequence of Hatha Yoga practice. Perfection after 1 year, mitahar, that is moderate diet, is mentioned in Hatha Yoga. Food which is prohibited to Hatha Yoga, sadhaka, that is ahar, mitahar, pathya and apathya are also mentioned. Interaction to be avoided by a Hatha Yogi. Food which is conducive to Hatha Yoga sadhana, those who can practice Hatha Yoga, perfection results from the practice. Neither the gar, this is very important thing Swami swatmarama is saying. And we all need to understand. Neither the garb nor the mere talk gives the siddhi, only the practical application. When you apply this yogic knowledge with your body, with your mind, then you are going to get the result, not just learning is going to give you result. Asana, pranayama should be practiced until perfection or siddhi is achieved. You know, my friend, practice is one thing and perfection, that is siddh, is one thing. When you practice an asana or a pranayama for a number of times, for a number of years, for a number of repetition with proper awareness, then you are going to get the siddhi, that is a final fruit of the practice. So in this way, Swami swatmarama mentions about the basics of asanas, what are the important points asana require, and finally concluding with the important thing is, if you read the whole Hatha Yoga Pradipika, if you read everything, all the text, but you do not practice at all, then it is like library. So many books are put in the library, but without reading them, without practicing them, no knowledge can be taken. Then coming to chapter number 2, that is Shatkarma. With the asana, what we will get? Stharyam, Arogyam cha Laghavam. You will get the steadiness, diseaselessness, and lightness of the body. Then with such a body, you can practice your sadhana. Chapter 2 is the Shatkarma and Pranayama. Being established in asana, pranayama should be practiced. Interconnection of the mind and prana, and the studying through the pranayama. You know, my friend, there is a great relationship between your prana and the mind. A dead person doesn't have a prana, so he doesn't have a functioning mind. Simple. So your prana, your mind are interconnected. So with the help of breath, because breath contains the prana and prana can control the mind, interconnectedly you can control your mind. Then he tell you the difference between what is life and what is death. Life is when the prana vayu is retained in your body, in your pranamaya kosha, and death is when the prana vayu leaves your body. Then there are 5 functions of the vayu, that is Hridayi prano, Gudeyapano, Samana nabi mandale, Udan kanta kupascha, Vyana sarva sharira. In your chest we have prana, that is above your navel, blow your throat. Then we will have apana vayu, blow your navel. Samana vayu, blow your heart above your navel, that is within. Then we will have the third vayu, that is samana, responsible for digestion. Fourth vayu is udan, above your throat region, for your sensory functions. Then we will have vyana sarva sharira. Vyana is throughout your whole body. Then impurities of the nadis, cleaning the middle channel. Swami swatmarama is saying, if your nadis are clogged up with the impurities, no benefit of practicing asana. That is the cleaning the middle channel. Sushumna is very important. And purification of the nadis and chakra for the retention of prana. If your nadis are not pure, if your chakras are not pure, then there will be no retention of the prana. And your prana will be fluctuating as a result. Your mind will be fluctuating and you will be under tense situation. Then we will have talked about uh, sattvic state of the mind for pranayama. That pranayama should be practiced with the sattvic, that is a pure state of mind. As you know, my friend, there are three gunas: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sattvic is for generating the peace and calmness within your mind. Rajasic is activating and tamasic is inertia. So first it is mentioned that everyone should practice Nadi Shodhan pranayama, that is alternate nostril breathing to purify your nadis. Alternate nostril breathing purifies the nadis within the 3 months. If for 3 months you practice Nadi Shodhan pranayama with the proper diet, sattvic diet, then your nadis will be purified. There is proper time and duration of the practice. Swami swatmarama mentioned that during the 4 times a day, that is night, morning, afternoon, evening, 4 times of pranayama need to be practiced. Signs of a perfected pranayama practice, various signs are mentioned in the book. Rubbing the body with perspiration, this is important point. Generally what happens with the people, that they swipe away the perspiration on the body with the towel, but it is required because that sweat contains the very important hormones. So they should rub that sweat on their body. Whenever you are following a pranayama, diet is a very important point. Control of prana to prevent the destruction of the force. Eradication of the diseases by proper practice, otherwise bad results. If you follow the pranayama in a proper way, all the diseases will go away, otherwise you will get the bad results. Skillful control of breath leads to siddhi. Signs and results of purifying the nadi. What are the signs of purifying the nadis? Signs should be mentioned. Then there will be lightness, there will be purity in your eyes. Shatkarma should precede pranayama if fat and mucus are excessive. Now, Swami swatmarama is saying, before pranayama, you should practice Shatkarma. That is 6 purificatory practice to cleanse your internal body. If the fat and mucus are excessive, if med shleshmadik, if med, that is the fat tissue is more, that is obesity more, how you are going to practice the pranayama? You will definitely going to get the diseases far early, and as a result your time will be lost. So 6 purificatory techniques, and Shatkarma is the secret bringing wondrous results. What are Shatkarmas? Dhoti, Basti, Neti, Noli, Tratikam Tatha, Kapal Bhati Shetani, Shatkarmani Samachari. If a person follows the Shatkarmas, he is not going to get at all the diseases, because one of the important reason for diseases is too much storage of impurities within your bodies, and naturally your body tries to take those impurities out with the help of diseases. Suppose cold, fever, this is a way of body, the prakriti, to keep these elements out of your body. Then Dhoti is the internal cleansing. Dhoti cures many diseases. Then we have yogic enema known as Basti. Curative effects of Basti are also mentioned. Neti is the nasal cleansing. Then we have benefits of Neti. For purification of the eyes, that is concentrated gazing, is Tratak. Then we have Noli, abdominal massage to massage the abdominal organs. Then we have finally Kapala Bhati, that is a frontal brain cleansing. Freedom from the excess of dosha through Shatkarma. Ayurveda says you have the diseases because there is an imbalance between your Vata, Pitta and Kapha. And Shatkarmas, a similar concept is there in Ayurveda, which is about Panchkarma. Like Vaman, Virechana. Similarly, we have Dhoti, Basti, Neti, Noli, Tratakam, Tatha, Kapal, Bhatischetani, Shatkarmani, Samachari. Some say pranayama alone removes the impurities. Gajakarni. There are some more practices like Gajakarni, that is elephant stomach cleansing. Even Brahma and the gods practice pranayama. It is said that the gods, that the Brahma also practice pranayama. When Kumbhaka and Shambhavi are maintained, fear of death diminishes. When there is a Kumbhak, that is a holding of breath, either internal, external, or Keval Kumbhak, and Shambhavi, that is focusing your eyes, your drishti, your awareness at your Agya Chakra, will lead to Shambhavi Mudra. Fear of death will diminish. Restraining, because why it will diminish? Because there will be removal of ignorance. Restraining the breath purifies the nadis and the chakras, awakening your Shushumna, that is the Shushumna nadi. Then there will a stage comes which is known as the Manumani, that is the mind devoid of the thoughts. Practice of Kumbhaka brings perfection. Name of 8 Kumbhaka practices, that is Surabedi, Ujjayi, Shitali, Shitkari, Vastrika, Brahmari, Murcha, Plavani, Ashtakumbhaka. Practice of Bandha with the pranayama is also mentioned. Mahabandha directs the prana into Brahma Nadi. Mahabandha is the highest of the bandhas, is the greatest bandhas. In this, we apply all 3 bandhas simultaneously, and as a result, it directs the prana into the Brahma Nadi, that is the Shushumna. Uniting of prana and apana banishes the old age. Surya Bhedi Pranayama, also known as the vitality stimulating breath. Then we have Ujjayi Pranayama, also known as the psychic breath. It controls your mind, because during Ujjayi breath a sound will come which as a result calms down your mind. Then we have Shitkari Pranayama, known as a hissing breath, cooling Pranayama. Then we have Shitali Pranayama, cooling breath. Then we have Bhastrika Pranayama, also known as a bellows breath. And then we have, this is very important for piercing of the 3 Granthis, Vishnu Nadi, Brahma Nadi and Rudra Nadi. Murcha, that is Pranayama. And finally we also known as swooning breath. And finally we have Plavani Pranayama. Then we have Pranayama is of 3 types. Kevala Kumbhak, perfection of Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga through Kevala Kumbhak. Signs of perfection in Hatha Yoga. 2 steps that we have covered till now are, first we have talked about asana, then Shatkarma and Pranayama. Now we are moving to 3rd step, that is chapter number 3, Mudras and Bandhas. Now here he mentions the concept of Kundalini is the support of yogic practice. Every practice that you are doing in a yoga, the aim is to awaken the serpent energy lying dormant at your Mooladhara chakra, known as the Kundalini Shakti. Guru's grace and opening of the chakras. That the important Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Without the grace of Guru, it's not good to touch the Kundalini. It may bite you. So you need that love and devotion of your master so that you can awaken it. Yeah, it's not good for me to say much more about this. Then we have Shushumna becomes the path of the prana. It's a channel, like vehicles are moving on the road. Similarly, they are your Kundalini Shakti moves in the Shushumna. There are different names of the Shushumna. Sleeping goddess is awakened by the mudra. You practice the mudra again and again, that will awaken the Kundalini Shakti. 10 mudras destroy the old age. 8 major siddhis obtained by mudra. Mudra must be kept secret. It is the secret. You can't go everywhere and tell about mudras to everyone. Then we have Mahamudra, that is the great. Attitude. Mahamudra done an equal number of times on alternate sides. Nothing is toxic for the practitioner of Mahamudra. Curative effects of Mahamudra. Mahamudra must be kept secret. Mahabandha, that is a great lock. Mahabandha stops the leakage from the nadis. Mahabandha destroy time until 3 nadis in the Bhrumadhya. Necessity of Mahaveda Mudra for Mahamudra and Mahabandha. Mahaveda Mudra, great piercing attitude. Benefits of Mahaveda Mudra. Regulation for Mahaveda Mudra. Khechari, that is the attitude of dwelling in the Supreme Consciousness. Technique of Khechari Mudra, the center of ether. Then we have benefits of the Khechari Mudra. Khechari Mudra means mind moving in the Brahman. Aha. Khechari means Your mind is now in the world, it's moving in the Brahman. Khechri enables the control of the semen. You can control your vital energy with the Khechri also. Vajroli Mudra controls the semen. Vajroli and Sahajoli Mudra. Through Khechri, the fluid of the moon is drunk and physical death conquered. Poison doesn't not affect one who practices Khechri. Khechri maintains the prana in the body. Drinking the Amar Varuni through Khechri. Meaning of eating cow's meat in the Hatha Yoga. What is the meaning of cow meat eating in Hatha Yoga? That is also mentioned here. Somewhere I was going through learning about Hatha Yoga. There I heard that these are all symbolic. These are all symbolic. Eating the cow's meat means something like when you meditate, then you go beyond your physical body. That is, you are not caught up in your physical body, your experience, physical body is the outer cocoon or the sheath, which is like the gross nature that is coming out, but internally, like you have your energy, you have your thoughts, you have your emotions, these are more subtle, correct? So we have like this. Then Khechri maintains the prana in the body, and Khechri produces the heat, allowing the nectar to flow. Nectar wards off old age and manifests siddhis. Nectar fluid releases kundalini, gives longevity, makes body as a soft as a lotus, and has an effect on Vishuddhi. Khechri Mudra preserves nectar for the perfection of body. 5 nadis convene at the Meru. Experience of oneness is felt then. Then talked about Uddiyana Bandha, that is abdominal retraction lock, benefits of Uddiyana Bandha. Moola Bandha, that is a perineum cervix retraction lock. Union of prana and apana, nada and bindu through Moola Bandha. Physical effect of Moola Bandha. Union of prana and apana intensifies heat in the body and kundalini is aroused. Jalandhar Bandha is the throat lock. And finally, nectar does not fall into the fire due to Jalandhar Bandha. It is said that when you are practicing the yogic practices, you are applying the Jalandhar Bandha, which safeguards your mind, otherwise the energy may shoot directly towards your brain. As a result, your brain function may get disturbed. Whereas the Moola Bandha protects your energy from dissipating from the downward side. You apply the Jalandhar Bandha, you apply the Moola Bandha, energy is blocked within the spine, and then you apply the Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana, like it pushes the energy into your Sushumna Nadi. Clear? Then finally we have the benefits of these 3 bandhas. Great siddhas practice bandhas. Because if you get the tons amount of energy, but you don't know how to control, how to lock them, then it is going to create problems for you. So much of money, but you don't know how to utilize that money in this world for the beneficial purpose, then you are at all going to buy the guns with that. So better, that's why the grace of Guru is very important. Before entering into the path of spirituality, if you have the balance, then it will be good for us. Ambrosia or the nectar is consumed, then Vipreet Karni Mudra, that is the reversing attitude. It's one of the wonderful practices of Vipreet Karni. Anyone who practices Vipreet Karni, he will get the tremendous effects. That is, aging will be slowed down. So many effects are mentioned. Anyone who practices Vajroli Mudra becomes a recipient of Siddhis. 2 requisites are difficult to obtain for a Vajroli Mudra. A man or a woman can achieve perfection of Vajroli Mudra. Vajroli Mudra with the catheter. Bindu semen should not fall into the yoni. Preservation of Bindu is life. When you can control the Bindu, that is your semen, otherwise you are wasting it out and it's a life. Body becomes pregnant through the preservation of Bindu. Semen and mind must be controlled, conserving the Bindu and the Rajas. Sahajoli Mudra, the attitude of spontaneous arousing, combining the yoga and bhoga. Yoga is attained by virtuous and not selfish people. That is, the yoga required the discipline. Otherwise, that amount of high energy can create so much of the problems. Amroli Mudra, attitude arousing immortality. After Vajroli Mudra, wiping a mixture of ash and semen on the body, a yogini is one who practices Vajroli by preserving Rajas, Bindu and Nada unite. Union of Bindu and Rajas bestows Siddhis by Vajroli. A yogini conserving her Rajas attains Khechari. Then Vajroli brings liberation with the Bhoga. Names of Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini is the key to liberation. The sleeping Shakti is the means of release from the bondage. Kundalini is coiled like snake. Kundalini is in the middle of the Ida and Pingala. Kundalini, when excited, rises up. Shakti Chalana Mudra, the attitude of moving the energy. Placement of Kanda. Kanda should be squeezed in Vajrasana. Kundalini is aroused in Vajrasana with Bhasrika Pranayama practice. Contraction of the sun in Manipur. Moving Kundalini for an hour and a half, she enters and rises into Sushumna. By practice, prana proceeds through the Sushumna of its own accord. Freedom from the disease through the moving the Kundalini regularly. Benefits of moving Kundalini regularly. Methods of perfection in 40 days. No fear of death if Bhasrika Pranayama is also practiced. What other methods purify the nadis? Sushumna is straightened through asana, pranayama, mudra and concentration. Shambhavi, the greatest mudra for bestowing perfection. There is nothing beautiful without Raja Yoga. Pranayama must be done with a concentrated mind. The 10 mudras told by Adinath bring the perfection of the concentration of the mind. One who instructs the mudra in tradition of a guru is the Ishvara. This is the master key. There is very importance of Guru Shishya Parampara. But by the way, your Guru is always sitting within you. Whenever you have the desire to know the ultimate, then that Guru can take the form in which you are comfortable, and then he or she is going to guide you. Guru is also like the form of a Ishvara or the Param Brahma. Then we have the Ashtasiddhis are attained through the mudra and through following Guru's instruction. You should have the belief like Krishna has a Guru, Sandalpani. Like everyone has a Guru. Without Guru, it's a path of depthless ocean. So you need your guide, a map. Then chapter 4 is talking about the Samadhi, the experience of oneness, the experience of uniteness with everything. Let me tell you, I don't know because I haven't experienced that, but I can tell you about it. And you can experience on your own for that practice sadhana. Then, and it is said that it is the highest experience a human being can have. Highest. Money can't give you. So salutation to the Guru Shiva as the Nada, Bindu and Kala. The process of Samadhi, the names of the highest, mind and Atma unite like the salt in the sea. Cessation of the prana and the mind in Samadhi. When Jiva Atma unites with Paramatma, desires are destroyed. It is saying like when you will unite for some time during meditation with your cosmic consciousness, then the petty desires which are always popping out in your mind, they will get destroyed. Then that jnana, mukti and sthiti and siddhi come from the Guru. Guru is like the channel through which the knowledge, not the knowledge, through which the wisdom is transferred. Guru's compassion bestows the success. After Kundalini is aroused, prana rests in the void. Now, once energy has broken all the bindage, prana just rests in the void. That is Shunya. Samadhi is natural when Kundalini is awakened and karma free. Destruction of karma in Sushumna and the void. The mastery over the time. You will get the mastery over the time. Then Amroli, Vajroli and Sajoli are attained through the equanimity of mind. Everywhere if you read the yoga, if you read the spirituality, everyone is saying be equanimity. Till now, by your experience, you know in this world is full of duality. You have the day, then you have to bear with the night. Male, female, heat, cold, down, up, good, bad, success, failure. Can you tell me anything which is not having the opposite? I can tell you. That is awareness. Awareness is one. manifesting through everything. Like the air, the breath is one, manifesting through the different bodies, through the animals, through the plants, through the humans, through the gods also. So, no inner knowledge as long as prana is active and mind is uncontrolled. You will not get the inner knowledge as long as prana is active outwardly and mind is uncontrolled. Kundalini is to be blocked at Brahmarandha. Sushumna consumes day and night, Ida and Pingla. Sushumna, the Sambhavi Shakti alone, is important of all the 72,000 nadis. Kundalini is taken up by Samana Vayu. Manomani is established when prana flows in the Sushumna until all the practice are laborious. Prana and mind are restrained through one another. That is, with prana you control your mind, with mind you control your prana. Chitta has two causes, that is vasana and prana. Why? What is the cause of chitta? Chitta is because of the vasana. You have vasanas are the so much of the desires of the samskaras and which are getting activated because of the prana. Stillness and interdependence of the mind and prana. Prana and mind are mixed like the milk and water. When one is eradicated, so is the other. Mercurial properties of the mind, mercurial properties of the prana. Sattvic state is created by stabilizing the mind, prana in bindu. Mind rules the senses, prana rules the mind, nada rules the prana. Nada is the liberation according to some authorities. Keval kumbhak precedes absorption of the mind, finishing of desires results in life. Where the vision is directed and concentrated, life occurs, characteristics of life. Shambhavi mudra is for the blessed ones and not for everyone. Shambhavi mudra, that is eyebrow center grazing, internalizes the pranic flow and the mind. Shambhavi and the Khechari both create the ecstasy. Perfection of the Shambhavi leads to Unmani, confusion created by the intellectual knowledge. Yes, this I can say by my experience, my friends. Confusion created by intellectual knowledge. Sometimes, at some moments of my life, I was so confused because of this intellectual knowledge. You read, and after some time, you get so confused that who is right and who is wrong. My guru or the master, he says, read for 1 hour, write for 2 hours. Read for 1 hour, write for 2 hours, and meditate all the time. Then you will get the true knowledge. That is Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, not from somebody else's mouth, but from yourself. Then we have Nasikagra Drishti, that is the suspension of Ida and Pingla, worship of Shiva Lingam. Khechari Mudra is perfected when Sushumna flows. Khechari is established when the prana is in Shunya. Khechari stimulates is of Yoma Chakra. Sushumna opening should be filled by the tongue. In the moon's flow is Shiva. Raj Yoga of Khechari also results in Unmani. Bhumadhya is the place of Shiva, realm of the Turya. You know, my friend, there are 4 states of consciousness: Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti and Turya. Turya is the one in which all these 3 states remain. Yoga Nidra through the Khechari. Yoga means union, Nidra means sleep. Sleep with awareness is, that can be done with the Khechari also. Unsupported mind is like the pot in the space. Suspension of the breath and stilling of the mind. When the body is filled with the nectar, it becomes superior, centering the mind and the Shakti, centering the Atma and the Brahma, Shunya within and without, being devoid of the thought. World is a fabrication of thought. This is also said by Ramana Maharishi, that this world is a projection of your mind. In Vasishtha, that is, in Vasishtha Samhita also, that is the dialogue between the Ram and the Guru Vasishtha, it is said that this whole world is a projection of your thoughts. In the dreams, thoughts diminishes, world diminishes. Mind is also in the Samadhi, knower, known and the knowing merged. Any activity which leads you towards the knower, the known and the knowing gets one, that's the state of duality. Finished, Samadhi. Duality dissolves with the dissolution of the mind. Dissolution of the mind results in the Kevalya, and there are various methods to attain Samadhi. Salutation to Samadhi, Shushumna, Kundalini, Amrita, Manomani, Shakti, Atma. Concentration of Nada as told by Gorakhnath, Nadanusandhan leads to life. Nadanusandhan, that the exploration of the sound, that is the wonderful way of uniting your mind with the sound. Listen to the internal sounds that are going on, like the sound of the blood, the sound of the heart, the sound of the so much of the blood rushing to the veins. You focus on that. Slowly, slowly your mind withdraws into the deeper channels of the Sushumna Nadi. They are the chakras, they are, and which have the different sounds. 4 stages of the yogic practice and hearing the nada. That is Arambhavastha, beginning stage, Ghatavastha, vessel stage, Parichya that is stage of increase, and finally we have Nishpatti Avastha, the stage of consummation, that is the lie, that is the dissolution. Raj Yoga is the state of Ishvara Tattva. You are getting established in your Ishvara Tattva, that is your reality, that is your self-realization. Through the light, there is the pleasure. Even if there is no liberation, you will get the pleasure. Practice of Hatha Yoga without realization of Raj Yoga is unfruitful. Until you don't realize the Raj Yoga, Raj is your mind control. Till that, Hatha Yoga is not. Then intellectual brilliance is unnecessary for the practice of Shambhavi Mudra and Nada Yoga. Plentitude of ecstasy through Samadhi attained by Nadanasandhana. By practicing Yoni Mudra, Nada is heard and stillness achieved. External awareness subsides when listening to Nada. Within 15 days, the pleasure is felt. External awareness subsides when you start listening to Nada with the Shanmukhi Mudra. Within the 15 days, you will feel the pleasure. Prominent nadas heard. Types of nadas perceived. Listen only to the deep and more subtle sounds. Mind adheres to the nada and merges with it. Mind ceases to crave sensual experience when absorbed in nada. Nada subdues the roaming mind and controls the senses. Mind absorbed in the nada and becomes immobile. One who desires yoga should listen to nada. Nada is like the net which snares and slays the mind. Nada is like the bolt which locks the mind. Nada is like the sulfur which solidifies a mercurial mind. Mind becomes hypnotized like a captivated snake when it hears the nada. Mind is burnt by nada. Mind is attracted to nada like a deer to music. The essence of nada is consciousness, that is the Vishnu, Akash, Tattva. Exists as long as nada is heard, sound is Shakti and dissolves in the consciousness. Hatha Yoga and Lai Yoga are the means to Raja Yoga. Tattva is the seed, Hatha Yoga the soil, the desirelessness and the water. So, Unmani, the Kalpa Vriksha sprout force. Concentration on Nada burns the bad karmas. During Unmani, the body becomes immobile and not even the Nada is heard. One who is beyond the 3 states of mind, freed of thought, and appears dead is liberated. In Samadhi, a yogi is unaffected by time, karma, or any influence. In Samadhi, there is neither sense nor ego perception. The liberated one is neither asleep nor awake, neither conscious nor unconscious. In Samadhi, there is no dual experience. One who seems asleep but is awake, who is healthy but without breath, is liberated. In Samadhi, a yogi is unaffected by weapons, people, mantra, and yantra. One who speaks about spiritual knowledge, but who is not activated Sushumna, studied his Bindu, or achieved spontaneous meditation, utters the false word. Now here the Swami swatmarama ji is opening the secret. If anyone speaks of this spiritual knowledge, but his Sushumna Nadi is not activated, he has not studied his Bindu or achieved the spontaneous meditation, then the thing is, he is uttering the false words. That's why I didn't say anything from my side. I am just telling you what Swami swatmarama ji is saying in that knowledge. My aim is very clear. I am just like a way to transfer that knowledge to you. There is nothing of me in between these. So if we look at this whole charted path that is set up by Swami swatmarama in Hatha Yoga. Pradipika, correct? So today what we seen is how Swami swatmarama is leading us for yes. So this was like the contents of Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and it tells you about the path of yoga which contains the fourfold path of asana, shatkarma, pranayama, mudra and bandha, and finally samadhi. So yoga is a process to move from individual consciousness to cosmic consciousness, to unite your individual mind to universal mind, to unite your individualness to cosmic consciousness. Like a river is flowing to meet the sea, but this is also example very small, not correct, because it is also limited somewhere, but that infinite nature is unlimited. So with that thought, let's wind up this session. I hope something clarity will come on all of us, and we will enjoy this yogic journey. Thank you so much, all of you. We will meet again with something new, something exciting, which is going to make your energy go up. Good night. Take care, all of you. We will meet again.